Welcome to another episode of the APL show, Angels, Positivity, and Love. Amazing guests the world over with incredible insights, experiences, and really high vibe or love to share with all of us. Today, incredible guest. He's been on before both panels and the individual show, probably the APL Spotlight series, and we're going to have him back on as much as he'll join us. Kevin Russell, he's been intuitive for quite some time, incredible childhood story. Not something you would want to necessarily go through, but that's usually the story for healers, which is what he is. They've got to go through some sort of obstacles. It builds their foundation upon which then they are able to turn around and help others. He does so. He's a transformation guide, a healer, loves the expression quantum consciousness, and that's exactly what he delivers for you. He does so with clarity, and he helps you remember who you are. Sometimes it's a little bit of a longer process just because people come to him with complex situations. His job is to get, again, the clarity on site and to get it to start to feel, look, and be simple so you can breathe again, relax, and walk a smoother path. So, Kevin, great to see you again. Thank you for joining us on the show.
Thanks for having me, Michael. And thank you for that beautiful introduction. No notes. I was like, that's better than I've described it. So thank you very
Oh,
much.
well, thank you again. And you've done an incredible panel or two. I'm trying to remember how many we've done. I think it's two.
Yeah.
And you are, again, every time you speak, there's a famous venture capitalist out there who I think is the most concise and clear person on the planet.
Mm.
Just in case of politics, I won't mention the name, but I put you in his category, or Ewan Briok. If people are
Mm.
really into clarity, he's a Welsh theater director, non-duality mindfulness teacher who I also cannot have on enough. And I would love to see you two paired up with someone in a future panel.
Yeah.
Let's go big picture first. People keep talking about mankind, humanity, expansion, growth. Are
Mm.
we really in a place where you think something's actually happening, or is it more of the same old, same old?
I guess either path you take, something's always happening, right? Whether it's the same old, getting more of what we've experienced, or stepping into new fertile ground. I feel it's both, generally always, and it's macro and micro. So individually, we are stuck. Individually, we are expanding. This can be within family units, within friend units, at a neighborhood level, regional level, societal level, and globally. And there's powers that be that are pulling us in both directions. And so it's, to me, it's that, a lot of the cliches. What voice do we listen to? What wolf do we feed? Those types of awareness exercises. Um, and I really find it comes down to, you find what you're looking for. So if you're looking for the trouble and the wrong and the challenges, then chances are we're going to find more of that. And vice versa. If we're looking for the positivity, the connection, the sameness, as opposed to looking at the differences, then we tend to find more of that, both of which color are going to color our experience.
Talk to us a little bit about where you put your focus
Hmm.
and how important that is daily. Also, how you spend your energy and how important that is as well.
Ooh, energy chips. Yeah. Yeah. Where your attention goes, your energy flows. And so my, it's interesting. My focus daily has kind of evolved into less focus, more presence. Generally, when we're focused, we're doing a mental task, or we're, some type of exercise that's taking, mental energy. And so I find much more success when I'm more present and open to what's my next most important step, best step, most effective step, based on everything is as it is right now. And that might be a little bit of a curveball that's not in my mental agenda, but I find that when I listen to excuse me, listen to those knowings, those voices, those ahas, um, I'm rarely ever led astray, even if sometimes it seems like it might be a detour off the main path. So that would be part one. Part two, yeah, energy chips. I look at it as input and filter. So our inputs are everything that we absorb throughout a day, whether it's a thought, piece of media, food, drink, emotion, past, something from the past that we think about. And then the filters are our beliefs, our beliefs about ourselves, beliefs about our others, beliefs about the world, judgments, comparisons. A lot of these are programmed and fear based. And so if we are constantly in our dis-ease, which can express as overgiving, being selfish. It can express as addictive personality, whether that's with substances or exercise or media or otherwise. We're hemorrhaging our energy chips. And the more we give our energy chips away, the less we have for ourselves to maintain our function, to maintain our homeostasis, to launch our rockets of desire in the directions we want to go, to challenge ourselves, to really unpack what's there that's there for us to unpack, or maybe just to not spend any chips and just enjoy the moment. So, energy chips, we can lose those with thought, we can lose those with action or inaction. We can lose those with negative inputs or limiting inputs from an energetic standpoint. So highly processed foods, highly curated news tend to leach more from us than it gives. So for every one of us, the equation is going to be a little bit different. But I really encourage everybody to take stock. What are your inputs and filters, and where are you spending your energy chips throughout your day? Sleeping in, hitting the snooze button, procrastinating, or just throwing energy chips away. So the more we can confront the thing that we feel is getting in our way, whether it's procrastination, fear, scarcity, depression, anxiety, stress, whatever, and get through or get to the other side of that, that's where the clarity and presence of the moment I find is. And when we connect with that, we don't need to spend any chips because we're in flow. And when we're in flow, to your point about kind of, being in collaboration or co-creation with the universe and energies and light and spirit, that's where things become effortless and we stop to, struggle as much with the paddling upstream so much as so many of us often do.
Before we talk about co-creating and who those wonderful assistants are standing by 24/7, let's talk about what it looks like to go full stop, slow
Mm,
down into the big heart that almost everybody has, or everybody, if they wanted to pay attention. And
mm,
can you go so slow as to give us a self-compliment, but you're being taped in front of an audience that's going to be viewed by millions by 2030? So, what self-compliment as you slow into this very now, this
mm,
very moment that's always the occasion, how would you like to celebrate you and give a big compliment to yourself that maybe wasn't there February or 2 years ago or 10 years ago?
mm. For me, it would, recognition. There you are. As if we're looking in the mirror, like there you are. And really, that's it. Just that isness, that beingness. If we can catch ourselves without it's like that Venn diagram where there's the space between thought, the space between action, the space between worry or fear or whatever. That to me is everything. So there you are. Glad to see you here again. Would be how I'd probably greet myself.
I love it. Popping your head up sort of to take in the view and then getting back. Like I spent 20 years in New York, so I certainly know
Mm,
what it's like to do the rinse, repeat,
yeah,
work the cycle. And that
yeah,
still pops up for YouTube work or social media work or some sort of thing.
sure.
Okay, are we alone in the universe? Are we the only casino on the Vegas Strip? Do angels exist? How do you like to? I mean,
Mm,
there's loving energies of all different types, and everyone's different how they have to hear it or
yep.
experience it. What's your big message on that front?
How can we be alone in the universe? How would that even be fathomably possible? If we, again, pulling back that lens, getting to the ultra micro level of, everything is connected through zero point energy, through molecular structure, whether we perceive that to be inside or outside of the body. So, Michael, today you're in Texas, I think, right? So I'm in California, Michael's in Texas. We're 1,500 to 2,000 miles away. We're seeing each other on Zoom, and we are literally in physical contact because every atom that Michael's in contact with connects to the atoms that I'm connected with. So if we look at it through that lens, we've never been alone. We've never been, kind of isolated. Everything is, so when you say, are we alone in the universe? My answer is, well, we are the universe. So how can we be alone? It's like, am I alone in a room when I'm by myself? Well, no, I'm with myself. And so if we look at the self as a universe, we are the kind of that universe within a universe, so to speak. And from that, if we look at the concept that information is has mass, then we can look at it where a hard drive actually gets a little bit lighter when the files are deleted from it. So if we are the thing that in a tiny little corner of experience is creating our experience, thought becomes things, then everything that is potential or everything that we may have connected with in antiquity, whether it's dragons or angels or Nephilim or whatever, in a dimension, yes, of course those exist. Will we intersect our those dimensions on our multidimensional journey of timeline hopping, of being able to kind of manifest and shift our dimension based on our actions or inactions? Absolutely. Is there co-creation in that? In some ways, the beings that maybe are like, humans got a little bit to figure out before we really kind of step into that co-creation. But yeah, everything that we can imagine in a dimension of experience exists. Whether or not we interact with that or will intersect and come to that in conscious human awareness in these lifetimes, I tend to feel that's a little bit more of an individual journey. And I would be very excited if that was something collective that might present itself to humans to experience.
Wonderful. On the panel that you were on, there's mind, body, spirit panels, wonderful guests. I think Valerie Veron and someone
Yeah.
else, I'm trying to remember who. Um,
Ia.
yeah, Ia Whiteley, doctor,
Yeah.
space aviation psychologist out of the UK. Um, you shared some personal stories abroad and elsewhere where intuitive happenings were afoot. Uh,
Mm.
what could you share now of an encounter with an angel? It could have been dream time. You actually met an angel in human form. Can you share something in an upbeat way where you had a direct encounter with the universe?
Yeah, I had an interesting one. If you've ever had a knowing where you experience something and then it's just against all evidence, there's just this knowing that you have. I had one of those. This was 2019, I think. And I grew up snowboarding and surfing in Southern California. I've always loved it. And I hadn't been snowboarding for probably a couple of years. We'd taken some trips when our daughter was younger, but hadn't been, on my own kind of a real snowboard trip where you're doing laps. You're just, all you're doing is snowboarding. You're bringing your food and your water with you. You're there to ride. So I had this opportunity and ended up wrecking my ankle the last run of the first day. So really bad sprain, completely hobbled. And so I'm in the lodge while the rest of the guys on my trip are off snowboarding, and I got my leg propped up. I got the bag of the ice from uh, the the kitchen crew at the lodge where they've got a like a cafeteria kitchen, and the cafeteria seating starts to fill up for kind of the lunchtime rush, and I'm just this, I'm like the stick in the sand. I'm there. Everybody's kind of coming and going, flowing past me, and this older gentleman comes up, and this was even before it was really packed. But he asked, "Hey, there's not a lot of space. Can I share your table?" I said, "Of course, absolutely." And so he sits and we start, chatting, some small talk. Where are you from? What do you do? Those types of things. He's retired, and we're just having kind of a very like very comfortable 3D conversation, talking about the ticket price changes in the mountain between now and the 90s, and even further back than that when he'd actually met the owner of the mountain. And just a very, I'm remembering right, I feel like he had a British accent. um and so just very amicable, very easy. Just kind of one of those, I would equate it to a stranger knocking on the door saying, "Hey, can I sit a spell? Of course, come on in." And only afterwards did I had this thought of like, recognizing, depending on where we are, our perception of God might be very, very defined, very concrete. I feel we are that as well. And so, it's this kind of Ram Dass vision of we're all walking each other home. We're a fractal of God connected to source that, is the spark that is us, that we feel as a differentiated consciousness. But once we pull back the lens, it's like, oh, there we are, there I am. And like just as we did in that exercise. And it really felt like I had lunch with God, where it was just, kind of just a happenstance meeting, but it was comfortable, it was familiar, it was effortless and easy. And only afterwards did I get that thought. I was like, that was a really interesting. That was a really like, and when we were sitting together, it was like nobody else was there, even though it was packed.
Hmm.
So that was a really interesting one. Yeah.
Well, why don't we do this? Why don't we take some steps with the universe and we'll buy time for sort of a round two of discussion like normal podcasts do. But
Hmm.
what I'll do is before I blow sage, before I show any light on my hands and let you see a little bit of light maybe in the room around you, who knows?
Hmm.
And the audience can participate in all this. Just be in your heart and kind of follow the lead like anything else you would do. Video games, petting a dog, learning how to snowboard, anything. Just let go. But I'm going to put up an angel named Joy. If you don't mind hearing one thing about the day at the ski lodge, and it'll come in pretty strong if you want to see that figure again, but more in a chipper way, hear who that angel was, or if it was God or Jesus or Muhammad or Buddha. And you can just say got it when you get the name. You don't have to share it out loud, but if you want to, you can.
Got it.
Okay. And then from Joy to all of us, what's a reminder she has, sort of a takeaway for round one on the podcast? What's a reminder for every audience member at home? And this is an angel named Joy, who's the emotion Joy. She's cosmic. You can put your hand out and feel her like a fireplace at home, folks. Put an emoji down and please put a comment. What have you already enjoyed from Kevin? This is Kevin Russell, kevinrussell.guide, www.kevinrussell.guide. The details are in the video fine print. He's incredibly intuitive, but it's not necessarily what he advertises. He's here to help you. Um, Kevin, what do you get? What can you share?
Why so serious all the time?
Ah, that's for all of us. How can
Yeah.
we not? We got a human brain.
Right. Yeah. How can we find more play? I feel like that's such a powerful question. How can I play more? We're all the same little kids we've always been. We're still that 4, 5, 8, 10, 12, 15, 18-year-old version of ourselves. And then life and conditioning and programming kind of contorts us into this externally influenced version of ourselves, let's call it. And that tends to suck joy. That tends to just really siphon play because we start living in the need tos, the have tos, the shoulds instead of aligning with what lights us up or what might make us nervous, even though we're really attracted to it, and give us that space to step into the opportunity for more of what actually we want: joy, peace, fun, easefulness.
I have a beautiful quote, and I'm going to put up another angel named Charlotte. She's a blue ball light. You'll get her in just a second. And she's everybody's favorite school teacher from third grade, or if you're in New Zealand watching right now, third form,
Hmm.
with words meant to help you expand. But here's the quote from a NASA astronaut. Story Musgrave. Getting out of the comfortable path. That's what exploration is all about. Now I'm going to put Charlotte up. And if you could get three waves of light or hugs or energy or whatever you want to call a whoosh. And if folks at home, you want to turn it up, breathe through the mouth. Let your shoulders go up and down. Some people are professional nose breathers. So for those folks, fine. Either way, let go, let go, let go, allow, allow, allow. Let her come in and let her take that quote and do that quantum consciousness transformation that you're an expert at and bring it into a greater concept for all of us. And if you want to feel your throat on the front get, I don't know the word, enhanced. Anything on the back of the neck that you need to let go of stress, anything, have it go. And get a little humor while we're at it. And then come back when you're ready. And folks at home, just pause it, ask a question, hear an answer. It might be your voice for 1 second. What do you think half your intuition's been? It's been Angel's Aunt Martha trying to reach you. But if you're in the middle of a golf game, you're winning the tournament, Aunt Martha's not going to want to come in with her voice and have you shank the ball. You probably quit golf. So, what do you think your intuition's been this whole time and why it's so good? Yeah, it's you, but your higher self and some angels or other loving guides. Okay, Kevin, I digressed way too much. What'd you get from Charlotte? Was it fun?
It was good. Yeah. You, it's interesting. It kind of came through as a double negative. You can't not win.
I like that.
You can't get it wrong. What are you waiting for?
Oh, that's beautiful. That's a good one. That's like almost t-shirt level, put on there. Be
Yeah.
bold, be brave, be direct, go for it. All the
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, one more angel for the moment, and then we're gonna play just a little bit more and then get serious again because we got to get
Mm.
serious.
Get
Here's an
serious.
oceany figure, light waves of energy and water. Min, I'm just gonna keep her name short. Min, like Minnesota, Lakota Sioux word for water, soft-spoken professor. And if anybody wants to catch Hawaii in the air, hibiscus, ocean waves, you want a whole Old Spice commercial with the white stallion. Get it. See the vision of the beach, but meanwhile, have her share something to share with us. And this is an actual photo if people are wondering, and that's a guardian angel, my guardian angel, 80,000 other people's guardian angel. You can look up and see a little bit of light, like rainbow lights sprinkles in it up at the ceiling if you want to look up. There's no one way to do anything. Okay, Kevin, what'd you get from men or interacting with men? What did you hear?
I don't know if this is, I mean, obviously it's my perception, my experience, but she's just blowing bubbles, just kind of staring at me.
I
Not,
like that.
yeah. Just,
Well, I'm gonna blow sage, and then we're gonna knock out one other item, and then we're gonna do Q&A stuff.
yeah.
So I'm gonna light sage here in Texas. You've done this before. A lot of the audience, if you've watched, I think we have over 300 collective tapings with other guests involved.
Mm.
And we're booked out for folks to September of 2026. We've got the APL Spot
Wow.
Series and Mind, Body, Spirit panels. We're finally getting around to the 20th one. Those take so much more time to organize,
Yeah.
so people can enjoy those. And again, Kevin was in a fantastic one twice with two wonderful folks, Dr. Eo Whiteley and Valerie Veron. People
Mhm.
should definitely check those out. Okay, this is Sage, Juniper Ridge, California company. Get it at the Whole Foods. Are you getting Sage? But if you'll ask for more, you can catch Flowers, Ocean, or Extra, and it'll be extra special. What are you getting, Kevin, there in California?
Yeah. At first it came through almost like a strawberry shortcake plastic toy. If I'm aging myself a bit, back in the 80s, they had these scented little plastic figurine toys. So the first thing that came back was a little bit of strawberry, like kind of plasticky strawberry, and then just a really subtle note of like honeysuckle came through at the end.
I love it. Last item, and everyone gets a dad joke. That's more important than seeing light on my hands. But once you see the light on my hands, if you don't mind saying it out loud, are you saying gold, white? It's auras, it's chakras, it's universal love. I'm probably skipping something. Um, Once you say what you see in the narrow thing, I'm going to go bigger and let the universe step in. Angels, loving guides. People can do this at home. Blue skies, number one. Shut off TV, dark sweatshirt, or construction paper on a clipboard works great. Just let go. It's seeing with your heart, seeing with all of you, seeing without seeing, the Zen thing. Okay, but here's the dad joke. Where in a hospital, not trying to sound too serious here, where in a hospital is the worst place to play hide and seek, Kevin? Where?
The morgue.
In the ICU.
I see you. Oh my gosh.
Okay. And be in your heart, let go for folks at home. Please put a comment. I think we've earned at least three emojis, means we're really cool and doing well, and you want to see more of this. Five emojis. You love Kevin, and he's so crystal clear. Go crazy. Okay, here we go. Here's a little bit of light between my fingers. What color do you see or colors? Breathe, breathe, breathe at home through the mouth. If you need extra help, put a hand on your heart. What are you seeing, Kevin?
Start off with a burst of red, and then it settled into like a light gold.
Yay. I'm going bigger. Let angels step
Mm.
in, get vortices, a flower. Two people got phoenixes, geometric. I mean, it's been everything. Hummingbirds. What are you getting now?
Yeah, it's almost like a vortex or some purple, but it's not looking into it, it's looking at the side of it, kind of, if it's going left to right between your fingers. Purples, blues, some greens.
Aw. Okay. And blame angels. Don't blame Canada. Good job. Okay. If positivity is abundance, what are we all on in this big journey called life and going day to day, usually with our head down? So if positivity is abundance, that's Archangel Michael who said that, I think, or Gabriel. Uh,
Mm.
I love that. I've tried to remember that for 15 years now. Positivity is abundance. Can you take us through daily life and how to just slow our roll or slow the horses a little?
Yeah. Um, for me, that starts with thought training, because so often the fastest thing we're experiencing is our mind, and that kind of keeps us perceptively just sprinting with what we perceive as life. Social media comes in, everything feels fast. 24-hour news cycle comes in, everything feels fast. So I feel the best thing we can do is start to, if we're practicing finding that space, start to challenge the thoughts that we have, especially those kind of asterisk words that I mentioned. If you have a thought or you speak, need to, have to, should, trying, can't, ought to, will. I'll get to that. Oh, I'm trying to get that done. Oh, I should do this. Oh, I need to do this. We're everywhere but in the moment. And so we can use these cues to really start to redirect our thoughts. And the first one is catching the things that are keeping us from decision making. Because if we need to do something, are we the one who needs to do that? Or is that a voice of mom or dad that we've been conditioned to succumb to based on what we perceive as safe or right or acceptable? So challenging those thoughts. And then the second one, to your point, is no matter what we're experiencing, no matter how intense the tribulations or trials or trauma, we always have a choice of how we experience it, where we can experience something horrific and we can look for someone to blame and say, yes, this was horrific. Or we can experience something horrific and process the physiological reactions and then shift to finding, okay, what's for me in this? What's the opportunity in this challenge? And that's as much practice as anything else. We can do a lot of work subconsciously to let go of the weight that we're carrying that conditions us to the negative thought or the fatalistic thinking. But from there, it really is starting to practice more of what we want, because we're really good at practicing what we don't want.
Hmm.
We're really good at, not we, but our systems, our bodies. It's not even, the capital letter us, our name, but our systems are very good at finding challenges, at identifying risks, which is a function of the body, which is, it's great. Thank you, body. But when it gets tweaked, when their malware gets in there, when viruses get in there, like faulty beliefs, like resonant trauma patterns that we haven't processed or let go of, ways of thinking that are influencing us negatively, then we're going to have a really hard time to get to that place. I love Story Musgrave's quote, because I like to say our comfort zone is where our dreams go to die.
Hmm.
So what are we doing here? We don't need the Rolex or the Rolls or the five businesses to prove our wealth, to prove our deservedness, to prove our worthiness. What I find a more intriguing path is getting to that place of feeling and being first. I am worthy. I am wealthy beyond measure. I'm grateful beyond magnitude. And from this place, I am choosing to then go create, as opposed to feeling like we need to create or do or have or be in order to get to that place of beingness. It's really kind of a reverse approach, inside out instead of outside in.
Truly incredible. Absolutely love this. And you've had to do a lot of the work over the decades, just to, walk the walk, talk the talk, put it all together. Um, I do have another quote for you that ties right into what you were just saying.
Yeah.
And so it's not redundant because you can take this to the next level. And by that, I mean, I'm going to put up Charlotte, and she'll take exactly what you just said and what you've just talked about and give you the next level, or you're going to have the next level come through. But here's the quote in just a second. Here's Charlotte. In India, they say, a mind that is fast is sick, a mind that is slow is sound, a mind that is still is divine. And you know that quote well. You love that quote. I think in a way you help people, shift the gears in the whole vehicle
Yeah.
and get them to a very nice cruising platform.
Yeah.
What did Charlotte, or what is Charlotte helping you to have bubble up? that you're like, oh, I want to take us in this direction next?
Hmm. Interesting. Yeah. So quiet mind state is the first thing that came in, and then as we refocused, and what the message was there, it was beyond quiet mind state. So what's beyond that? What's next? And to me, that takes us beyond the hero's journey. So I think beyond the quiet mind state and beyond the hero's journey is the recognition, which we've touched on, of there is no separation, there's nothing outside of us that we aren't connected to. So we're getting out of duality, we're getting into the singularity, we're getting into that kind of cosmic consciousness, law of one. Looking at it through the lens of the universe is an egg. There was a wonderful short story written by Andy Weir, who's the author of The Martian. It was turned into a movie with Matt Damon. If anybody's interested in some potentially paradigm landscape shifting fictional work, check out The Egg by Andy Weir. It's a beautiful, um, elegant, almost effortless short story that really gives a novel look at who we are as individuals, who we are as humans, and our interconnection to all things. And so, yeah, beyond the quiet mind state, I feel is that I feel like that's where we start really breaking down borders, physical borders, mental borders, emotional borders. This is macro, micro, internal, external, because of the quantum nature or the Christ consciousness, Christ-like nature of existence. Everything is connected to everything at all times, and we are in relationship to everything at all times, and we are continually co-creating reality at all times with our thoughts, with our past experiences, with our source, with our guides, with our connections, um, with everything we've ever experienced in this lifetime, and things we've experienced outside of this lifetime that may come through as rememberings or challenges or opportunities in and of themselves. So when we get to that place of internal oneness, of wholeness, recognizing I don't need to do, be, have, or change anything to be okay. If we experience that at scale, then war is obsolete, borders become obsolete, competition in the sense that there is separateness or other becomes obsolete. We start to look at things much more cooperatively because we are not striving for our personal individual needs to be met from an emotional, energetic, spiritual standpoint. That's when things get really interesting. In an individual experience, in my own and from those I've talked to that have had similar experiences, and then also if we just open ourselves up to that potential and possibility that there is a different way to be, to have this human experience again at the individual and collective level. So I would challenge people to get to that state of getting beyond I am. Who's behind I am? What is behind that? So, there's an exercise where we start with our name. I am Kevin Russell. I am Kevin. I am. And playing there, seeing what's there for us. And we might not all get the same answer, but I think the important thing is to never stop asking the questions. And the more we can stay open and curious, the more we're going to find that knowing that's always been there.
Brilliant. I am going to put up Thich Nhat Hanh's photo,
Hmm.
and we're going to bring him in. But if you don't mind starting to breathe right now with the mouth a little bit open, shoulders up and down, I'm looking somewhere else to give you privacy. You have all the privacy in the world, Kevin. You're not on a show right now. If you could allow Vietnam to start coming in and even having a Buddhist temple in the background, incense and music, let angels make it nice, the universe for folks at home. Anybody who's nitty picky, just roll with it and choose your language. It's up to you what you'll allow for, like anything else every single day. And here's Thich Nhat Hanh, absolutely wonderful and gentle. He'll come in crystal clear. And if you could allow for that incense, though, like it's just 10 meters behind you and suddenly there's jungle, what incense are you getting right now?
Like lemongrass.
Cool. That's a first for that answer. I love it.
Hmm.
And if you'll get even a hand on your shoulder, small of your back, you can catch golden flecks of light around you. If you want to let Buddha come in, just a little bit of Kuan Yin or that influence, Asian, There's even a Jin who's East Asian mysticism. Catch a lot of brilliant laughter and light. Just very upbeat, energetic fellow. Elemental if people prefer. It's all good. But Thich Nhat Hanh's going to have a message for Americans. We need
Mhm.
our roll slowed and buttered and everything else these days. What's the message you're kind of getting? What's the vibe? And it's obviously going to be akin to what you've talked about. What are you getting?
Why are you playing everybody else's game?
Ooh. Okay, let's dive into that though. Look,
Yeah.
how do we learn to take life one moment at a time, the way our
Mm.
heart was built to do it?
Yeah. Awareness is the first thing. If we're unaware, there's not much we'll be able to do, unfortunately. And when we are less aware or we're less open, I find we're much more definitive. We think we know, or we think we have the answer based on what is at any turn a limited pool of information. So, awareness and curiosity, I think, are two of the most powerful first steps that any of us can take. So, curiosity about why I'm feeling, thinking, emoting, experiencing what I'm experiencing, and open to maybe my source for information isn't the only source. Maybe that source of information has an agenda or some bias that's influencing what it's communicating. So, I mean, question everything,
Hmm.
literally everything. Motive, agenda, thought, where did that come from? Why did I have that thought? And we start to really unravel and unpack a lot of those. It's like a tangled switchboard. If everybody's seen an old picture of how telephones used to connect, it was this massive switchboard, and you'd have all of these operators connecting different people. So really clearing up and cleaning up that switchboard. Um, I'd say start there, and then we can build from that foundation.
With your permission, I'm going to put up two more photos. Joy, we can just bring in Buddha and Thich Nhat Hanh again, and Charlotte and Min and Archangel Michael. If people want to bring in their own unconditional figures, it's one big giant crew team on
Mm.
the Thames or the Charles River in Boston, ready to row. Here's that elemental or Jinn who's East Asian mysticism. No name needed. Just say Jinn and it takes care of an entire class out there of loving beings, or some of them aren't so hot, but it'll go straight to him. Uh, if you don't mind allowing a lot of golden flecks of light, a lot of, whoa, I don't say this word very often, verve, a lot of
Mm.
zest, zg, if it's the Tibetan word for brilliance. There we go. Between verve, zest, and zg, we got it covered. If you don't mind doing something with your hands off camera's fine, just move them a little. Catch the flow. There's something coming in. I have no idea what this is. And if you could do, this is very intuitive healer work stuff. If you could put it all together, because you're super eloquent and know how to catch the ride. What are you getting? What are you feeling? What just came in?
A lot of questions today. What? It actually came through as what? What are you?
Oh,
Not who, what?
wow. And let's do this. Joy, Charlotte, and Min can play answers since there's only
Mm.
if we did this for 10 years, 500 guinea pigs or humans listening to
Yeah.
500 angels a day, no two answers have to be the same. So, what's Joy say for you? What are you? And you don't have to share everything. Have her give you a private answer, have her give you a public answer for public consumption. And make sure you get a good private one so you have to laugh or snort on air, taped. Okay, good. Now get the public consumption one. And what'd you get? What are you, Kevin Russell?
You are that which receives.
Beautiful. And Charlotte, what'd you get on that one? That's a good smile.
She just laughed about
Oh,
the private one. She just laughed. Let me see.
okay.
Public.
Yep. Here. And folks at home, at least put your hand out, feel the vibe. It could be 1,000 different ways on your palm. You could feel wind in the room, yummy in the tummy, wind on the back, sparkles, warmth. You can see light. But if you want to get both,
Mm.
ask her, hey, what do I need to know in this moment? Or, hey, what's he talking about? And hear it your own way. You're good.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, what'd you get for public consumption from Charlotte?
So I do want to preface this with this is all of us. But what I heard was you are the way.
Mm.
in the sense that
Mm.
I feel like we are all the way, and the way home is through us individually. The only way we can find our home is to dive into our own experience. So, in the sense that, from a religious standpoint, it's interesting. I've liked playing around with the idea of reading, if you're interested in shifting your relationship to potentially religion or the Bible. Read the quotes that where Jesus says, "I am the way." Read those out loud in the mirror, looking at yourself,
Mm.
and you may have a different experience than you've had previously.
Mm.
And so I feel like, what are we all here for? Well, that's a loaded question. There's a lot of different answers to it. I've got a really pulled back one, but at the end of the day, the only way forward to whatever we want is through, whether it's through education and materially. Let's say there's something we want to do that's new, we haven't tried before. Well, it's through education, it's through practice, it's through changing the way we operate. And same thing with the internal journey. The way home, the way to get to us being the way is taking that journey and getting rid of the things that no longer serve or that are limiting in any way, whether it's a thought, a belief, a habit, a behavior, something that we've practiced over and over again. So we are all the way.
I'll put up the big J, a beautiful drawing from Heaven is for Real, the Lithuanian,
Mm.
Latvian. She was probably 14 when she painted it, but I'm sure she's 35 with three PhDs currently. But before I do, Joe Shu is another figure people can meet. Lao Tse, Lao Tzu, whichever way, Ram Dass and Wayne Dyer. But Joe Shu and all the Zen stuff always talks about home, and it's
Mm.
another way to say heart, which I just found fascinating when I heard it that way.
Yeah.
So the way home, the way to your heart, the way to your center of all there is. Here's the big J, Jesus. Again, folks at home can close your eyes, see him in jeans and a white shirt, very Swedish with a great sense of humor. Hear him and see him the way you need to see him. But have him come in, and I have never known him to be too serious. He'll always deliver the beautiful softness, light touch. And is he sort of like, yeah, what they all said? Just kidding. What are you getting?
Interesting. Speak kindly about you. Speak kindly to you. So often we adopt negativity as our own,
Mm.
or we start to believe uh, the lies, straight up lies, culturally, societally that we're told or we are conditioned to. And so, coming back to more clarity of self.
Wild. So kindness counts. I'm gonna do Abraham the Abe of old next. I gotta remember that. You might help me with that, and even Audrey Hepburn. But
Mm.
kindness counts, and I'll throw something out that's a little personal. I've been doing this 15 years. A lot of balls, strikes, and a lot of just I couldn't even find the plate, couldn't face the right direction. I get shut down and no's all the time, all sorts of reactions. And it can be one person one day yelling miracles, give them 3 days, and then they're like, nah, none of this happened. So it just depends. And it's human nature and it's not personal. And it takes a good 15, maybe 20 years to get
Mm.
that into your head to realize, hey, it's spin the twister wheel. It could be any reaction,
Yeah.
anytime.
Doesn't have anything to do with us.
Yeah. And so love and kindness really does go a long way. Keep your chin up is what I've gotten for the last 2 years. Chin up. Even when I'm
Mm.
running, they're like, look at the trees, look at the sky, don't get
Ooh,
caught.
that's a good one.
Yeah. Chin up has just been
Yeah.
so repeated and it forces you to go, oh, and to use what you've got for a whole body energy, rainbow light. Okay, here's Abe, the Abraham of old. He'll tell you he wasn't so nice as a human, and he's a
Mm.
little opposite of all the other angels. Instead of teaching you to fish, he hands out fish. He'll show up
Mm.
as a human, by the way, complete stranger. Instead of seeing him as Gandalf or Dumbledore here, I saw him in Austin in 2011 on a cold night as Hagrid out of Harry Potter. He was a
Mm.
huge lumbering guy who stopped at the front of our SUV, somehow put a hand on the hood, and he had Starbucks cups. I only saw the outside. The person I'm with looked into his eyes and didn't see any of the Starbucks cups and saw the
Wow.
interior. Yeah, and we had a moment. Life went upside down. I felt like I was in a washing machine. I kept tugging on the person's sleeve saying, "Is that an angel? Is that an angel?" And I was asking, and Charlotte, everybody was like, "Move on, move on, move on." And by the
Yeah.
time I got a yes, I got out of the car and they were gone. And I'm like,
Wow.
ran down to the street corner and I look left, look right. There's no way they could have disappeared.
Yeah.
Abe was in human form to hand out coffee to strangers on that 20-degree, rare, like a year earlier, it was 70 degrees on the same day.
Sure.
So January 20-degree night, he was there to hand out coffee. And that's how I'd like to describe him is if anybody wants to catch a cigar, smell, cognac, or whatever's a fatherly, grandfatherly energy, pure love, unconditional love, and get a little squeeze or a laugh, and it will be complete tangent, and you probably won't be able to share that. But connecting with them, what are you getting, Kevin, for all of us to keep taking this to the next level?
Yeah, it was a lot of there was a lot there. But what everything distilled down to, interestingly, was I think ironically in some ways was free will. Um, and it's funny because I find the more that we are in alignment, the less that we're necessarily concerned with free will. It's more about, kind of connection and flow and insight or awareness as opposed to choice. Um, and I find that on both ends of the spectrum, whether we are very, very much aligned and peaceful present, we've been on our journey, there's less free will. And also, if we are very much in our programming or in our dis-ease or our trauma, we feel like very much no free will. But on the opposite side of the spectrum, whereas opposed to it being something that's emancipating, it's something that's very constricting and very imprisoning. And I find the space in between is where that free will comes into play, where we're on the path making our way towards what feels better, which to me is less stress, less anxiety, less thought in general, and definitely less negative thought overall. And finding that moment. But the attitude of the kind of the underlying message behind free will that came through was you can do whatever you want. It's fine. Like whatever game you want to play, play the game. You're here for a blink of an eye. Thank you for your contribution. So, yeah, yeah, whatever you want to do. Get wild with it. Don't get wild with it. Do it. Don't do it. It's really up to you.
I am going to put up four archangels, but I'm going to slip in one figure beforehand. And this is that figure from the book Way of the Peaceful Warrior, the movie Peaceful Warrior. And give a shout out to Dan Millman. I've never handed out more of those books out of any of the other books. Don Miguel Ruiz and maybe one other out there,
Mm.
Four Agreements. Or Eckhart Tolle's A New Earth is probably the other one, second place. So people should check out that book, buy a brand new copy, and honor Dan and all his work. But Socrates or Sock, the gas station attendant, a Mr. Miyagi figure in what's an adult Karate Kid version. Very spiritual, whether people know it or not a
Mm.
gymnastics movie as people would first believe. Every time I touch that book, there's something new in it. I mean,
Mm.
it's me because I watch the film and I'm always missing something or always picking up something new, is how I should say it. So I'm always appreciating something new. And I'm like, wait, I've watched this film 30 times before. So that angel, he was an angel who actually came in. And then there's, if you talk to New World Library, I think I got the name of the publishing house right. They have 19 different theories going on for 30 years since the book came out, who this guy is. But if you can trust angels, you can ask Joy, Min, and Michael. Here's Archangel Michael one way. It is an angel named Herb, who's a great coach. And if you want to close your eyes, you can meet him real fast and let him come in a very special way. I have no idea what this is. And Herb is just a blast. Herb is like big kahuna. Jeff Bridges on the beach, but able to wear the flip flops and make it looks like the beach is his. Like,
Mm.
won't trip, just the dude.
Yeah.
What'd you get from Herb just now?
It kind of came through in the coach from Rocky.
Yeah.
It was a little gravelly voice, like, you got it, kid,
Oh my
is
God.
what came through.
I love it. I will put up four archangels for one mantra from
Mm.
them to all of us. And then I'll put up Audrey Hepburn, and then we're done with the interactive for now until the very end. And what's the mantra you're getting? And that's Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, Uriel. People at home, if you want to put your hand up, ask for a hug, feel a hug, 1,000 ways to feel a hug. Again, great time to comment. I don't think I've ever pushed so hard on any show, but at least one emoji. Do a
Mm.
rainbow emoji if you absolutely think Kevin Russell's The Clarity, The Bomb, and really walking the walk, talking the talk. Okay, Kevin, what'd you get for a mantra for all of us from Four Archangels? In
B,
Rainbow, yeah, B.
B. It's tough because on the one hand it's really esoteric and it's kind of just be. It's like, oh yeah, it sounds great. It's kind of lip service, but I mean, honestly, again, practice finding that beingness in the doing or in the presence. The being is where it's at, no matter what it is, whatever we're looking for, whatever question we have, whatever we're worried about, whatever we're struggling with. If you can be, and from a practical standpoint, the way to get there in my mind is brain balancing, breath work, physiological disruptions, settling the nervous system. We have to address the mind body in order to get to that space. It's not as hard as it might seem with practice. It gets really, really easy, but finding that beingness in everything. So if we're having a reactive thought, we're not being. Take care of that, get balanced. If we're angry, if we're upset, if we're blaming, if we're judging, if we're comparing, we're not being, we're off our center. Handle it. If we, to your point, if we have a litany of no's
Mhm.
and we feel the rejection and the worthlessness creeping in, we're not being. Shift out of that. And on the one hand, it's an opportunity. On the other hand, it's a challenge. But I find that's where everything is. Everything exists within that duality of opportunity and challenge. It's determined by our alignment, by our choice of how we want to experience this thing.
It's your Venn diagram all over again with the overlap and that, as you said earlier, the space in between. I love it.
Yeah.
Um, okay, here's Audrey Hepburn, very final angel for now. I always say that, but one might sneak in. But this is a photograph, and we know photographs can't move, except if you're a regular on the show, you've seen people react and go, "Oh my God, I got a wink, a smile, the eyebrow went up, shoulder waggle, nose moved, catch something, catch perfume from Milan if you prefer Paris. Let her bring you perfume in the air." Can you say "got it" when you catch the perfume? And can you say which way she moved in the photograph? It'll just be, a quick one. And here's some beautiful words from Audrey Hepburn, actual angel. You got the movement in the photo?
I got the a little bit, not much. It's funny. I went as soon as you held up the picture, I was feeling Audrey Hepburn in her later years.
Oh, yeah. Excellent. Like light shining through her.
Mm-hmm.
And hear her voice come in. Private message for you. You cannot share this out loud. Absolutely stunning private message for you to leave you smiling through the coming weekend. You can tell. And I should give a shout out to Kelly Russell, who's been a guest on the show. People absolutely have to go in and check her out. She and
Yes.
Kevin are a couple, husband, wife. They're invited to come back on as a duo individually, however they want to do it. But people should check out Kelly Russell. And you can just go to my website, hit the APL show tab, and see the whole slew of guests and so on. Okay, what did you get from Audrey, and what was that like?
So the let me see.
She'll touch your shoulder, or the small of your back is best. Allow white light to come through towards the camera, and it'll feel like a little wave passing by. You got lifted 1 inch off the sand and back down.
That was great. But it came through kind of in her voice as she was getting a little older, so she was kind of getting that shake in her voice.
Yep. But that's
Um
beautiful. The fragility of her
yeah,
is even stronger, actually.
yeah. Um but really I'm distilling it down. What came through was let them,
Let them.
let them.
Like, whatever it is, let the chips fall where they will. Let the people do what they're doing.
Oh, so and so's acting the fool. Let them.
Let them.
Oh, my sibling who I've always had issues with, and they just can't come around, and I really want them to change. Let them be.
Is that so in the whole Zen thing,
There
or
you go.
this too shall pass? And there's a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah, mind over matter. If you don't mind, it don't matter. Yeah.
Okay, speaking of which, I'm going to give you three quotes and I'm going to buy time as we start to close out. We're going to head there. You are going to give us a mantra that's going to be a fresh mantra that you'll have to repeat 3 times for the camera so people can pick up on your vibe and give them a real chance to kind of drink you in, breathe you in, feel your energy. They can put your hands up to the screen. There's joy to kind of prep you, but we're going to go on a long tangent. Yep, feel her vibe first. Have her kind of say, you've already got your slew of mantras, but you might come up with a brand new one today that's worth it goes into your shop and it becomes a t-shirt mantra. or a mug? Okay. And then I'm going to pick three random quotes from anybody from Einstein to Jules Verne to Winnie the Pooh to, well, I have to do Gary Zukav. I always do this quote the most. Here's one of three quotes for you, and I'd love to get a reaction, but you can cheat and have angels come in, and you're already great at this. You change the way that you shape the light, which is flowing through you by changing your consciousness. That's Gary Zukav's Seed of the Soul. Randomly, I'm picking this one. Ooh, Plato said this in 2015. Allowing is the torch to illuminate the cave's exit. This is compassion. That's deep. Okay, and then one more. I'll just do this one. Life lessons lead to compassion. Red Shirt, Native American chief, said this when he was asked, "What is compassion?" Life lessons lead to compassion. Allowing is the torch to illuminate the cave's exit. This is compassion. And then the one from Gary Zukav. Did you like all of them? What inspired you? What did you get? What do you have to share with us?
Those are good. Um, what came through kind of and it held continuity throughout each one was actually be the first.
Hmm.
So the way that I interpret that is be the first to forgive, be the first to make a different choice, be the first to break the epigenetic or the family line of trauma, disease, whatever it is. Be the first to challenge your thoughts. Be the first to do the hard thing without any evidence that it's going to give you anything other than that's the direction I feel like I have to go. Be the first to be kind to yourself. Be the first to give you the love that you were never given when you were young. Be the first to learn how to self regulate in your family. Be the first to do whatever the thing is that you've always wanted to do that has never existed ever in the history of existence in every dimension of beingness. There's never been this Michael or this Kevin or this whoever is listening in this moment. So be the first.
Okay, now, since March, do you have a be the first example you personally use that you don't mind publicly sharing? And it wasn't
Mm,
when the guy accidentally wasn't paying attention in traffic. He bumped your fender, maybe a little dent. You handed him 50 bucks and said, "Man, I love you."
mm.
And okay, so give us a better example.
Um, oh, great example. Okay, so yeah, nearby there's kind of a like a commercial corridor where there's all the usual suspects. So Walmart, Target, in San Diego it's El Pollo Loco, so fast food chains, things like that. So I was at Target grabbing some stuff, and there was this woman outside on the bench, and she was and I've subsequently been in contact with her and we've connected, but she only ever says four words to anybody: "Can you help me?" And then people will react based on whatever they're going through. And so I went over and I sat down with her and we were just chatting and ended up having a great conversation. Absolutely beautiful spirit, beautiful soul. She's got kids back east. She's got a daughter who's writing her own book or has written her own book. She's now in college back in Detroit, and varying degrees of challenge with family and things like that. So I just asked what does she need? What can I give her? And I think I ended up giving her like a gift card to get some food somewhere. Um, 6 months later, we were in a completely different part of town, 30, 40 minutes away by car. And we're just happened to be at this, place we're going to like Home Goods or something like that. And sure enough, sitting outside is my friend. And we start diving in a little bit, more conversation. I start sharing. This is how the fact that her daughter was writing a book comes out, sharing that my daughter and I have collaborated on a children's book that she's recently illustrated. I'm in the process of publishing, and that's where she said my daughter wrote a book. It's absolutely brilliant. So I sent them some resources for how to self-publish if she's interested. And we were just chatting. There's people walking by and having all varied responses. Some would sneer, and some would step further away. Other little younger kids would just kind of look and like we'd wave and smile. And So I was wanting to see if there was something I could do to help, and I look in my wallet, and there was a gift card, a gift card that somebody had given me. And I didn't have much cash on me, but I had the Visa gift card, so I just gave it to her. And she said, "Well, how much is this?" And I said, "Oh, I think it's like $100 or something." It ended up being $150 on the gift card, but I said, "No, it's yours. Take it." And so to me, that was just one of those of like being open, being present, not judging. What can I do where I'm not going to overextend myself? But it was, to me, it was kind of like a pass-through gift. I was the middle person who was at the perfect place in the perfect time to be able to provide this thing, which I could have gotten something with, but I felt like that gift card would have gone a lot further, hopefully with my new friend than with me. Um,
Here's Archangel Gabriel. If you don't mind getting an extra dimension to the transactions going on, and
mm,
you don't have to share this part out loud, but everybody at home, you can again just put your hands up, feel what you can feel, or breathe, or use all of you to feel. And you might see light if your eyes are shut. You might get actual go beyond words, so you can't judge anything. Catch light symbols coming in that actually communicates in a broader brushstroke way. And then you will get something that's shareable there, Kevin, if you could, but get lots private filling in. And whatever permission you have to see on the other side of the fence on her life path, they'll show you what you're allowed to see. Breathe, breathe, breathe. No, try hand off space. And there's a message for everyone somehow that you're about to just do. What'd you get?
and I think you touched on it earlier. Be kind.
Hmm.
Literally, there's no cost. Whatever way, shape, or form that takes place. Be kind.
Okay, and and beautiful. Our last exercise I would have forgotten. I'm gonna put my hand up in Texas here in California. We'll do something on that level, but then you're gonna give us a mantra to close out the show. You've been absolutely wonderful, and just gonna put my palm up, and you're gonna feel what you feel. If you could let angels kind of run the show here, so maybe it's some of my energy. Yeah, sure, but like catch. Is it pulsing? Is it gentle? Is it fun? Is it like a what's the wine called? Rosé? What are
Mm.
you getting for a flavor or adjective you could use?
Buzzy, tingly, effervescent.
Ah, joy. Thank you. We're gonna blame joy on that one. Okay. But now I'm gonna whoosh. I'm gonna whoosh three times, small, medium, and big. But you can just make them bigger if you want. Oh my God, what's the name of that North Vietnamese city, Thailand city? That's Mai Chi or Chi Mai or whatever.
Chiang Mai?
Yeah, that
Yeah.
place. It's totally cool. So let's
Mm.
get that energy in on this. I can't name the city, but our South Korean guest, who's awesome, Ian, Royal Engineer, former living there. He's amazing. Um, that place is incredible. Chiang Mai, right? Okay, let's
I think
bring
so.
that energy in and get a lot of love and a lot of angels. Here comes the first one. I'm going to blow a little more microphones up top or aloha if you have a preference. Do Hawaii. Here we go. Was it a ripple? Was it conical? Was it energy? Was it, how do you like to describe that wave of something?
It almost felt like a really thick comforter, but very light, just kind of set like almost weightless, but it had some thickness to it, just kind of settle on things.
All right, well, let's bring in some muscle. Michael, Raphael, Joy, Gabriel, Min, blah, 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 Thich Nhat Hanh, the whole kit and caboodle. Here comes a medium to medium large. It doesn't matter. Audrey Hepburn can come in. Here comes, get it up the front, up the back, get a whoosh in the room, wind, even the plants moving in the background, a pathos. And Kevin, what was it this time?
Yeah, a funny thing. Something, but what came through was something from the Shawshank Redemption,
Oh,
which was, towards the end. I think Red, Morgan Freeman's character, is doing a voiceover, and he says something along the lines of "Get busy living or get busy dying." So to me, this is kind of along the lines of where my thoughts have been lately. Like, what are we doing here?
hmm.
If we're not mastering these vessels we're in, what are we doing here? Like, this is the most unbelievable opportunity in the history of existence to have a human experience and to have a different human experience than we've had previously in our life, and to have a different human experience than any generation of humans has had before us. So, what do we want to do with that opportunity? Get busy. Get busy being. Let's go there.
I'm sneaking in a photo of older Geronimo. He's a
Mm.
lightning bolt, action, 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 unconditional love. He'll come right in with an amazing something for you. Just say, got it when you got it. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Hand off the face just a little. Sorry, apologies for that. Allow, and he'll give you a little vision. It could be related to a horse. Riding a horse, only one person's ever been told to get off the horse. Most people are like, ride, ride, ride. Don't look left, don't look right, don't look back. And the horse took me on a run. 3 weeks later, I'm like, oh, the horse is a metaphor. It's your heart. I'm a little slow. What did you get? Do you happen to get a horse metaphor?
It was funny. I was kind of feeling that like a little undulation, and then you said horse, and I was like, oh, okay. And then it really came into clarity and focus, which was balance.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, yeah. So, and this is funny because one of the modules in our um, relationship and our personal transformation course is about radical balance.
Mm.
And through that lens, very rarely do we ever experience like kind of continual asymmetrical balance of like an Om kind of like balanced presence. That's fleeting, let's say. But we can find balance in all things.
Mm.
And sometimes that's asymmetrical. So, for example, if we want to launch a side gig or a passion project, or we're feeling called into deeper service, that may take some work and effort in the three-dimensional space to activate, to get up and running. And that can take time, attention, and energy. But if it's something that we're going towards that lights us up, that really gives us something, first question one, is that really even work? And two, sometimes that season of asymmetrical balance when we are going and doing, that can be as important as recognizing when the time is to rest or pause, or to your experience, chin up, aware, observe. But only from a place of practicing balance can we understand what the expression of balance that's going to be best for us in the moment is. So practicing in that space.
I think I've already used this word a couple of times coming off of your responses. Brilliant. Again, I love it. And that is so important. Balance is what allows for proper breathing, perspective, centering, and enjoying it all. I did
Yeah.
promise one more whoosh. So
Mm.
I'm going to do this, something different. If you don't mind finger paint, flick some finger paint all over the walls. And the good news is it's fake, so nothing's going to happen. And now drop your hands. Here comes a big whoosh. And if you don't mind privately asking all the angels and more, if people have any intent though, like, hey, I just want to have a slowest weekend in the world, appreciate nature. I want to hang with my dog more. I don't want to be so busy in the brain. Make a request. Angels hear you 24/7. It doesn't matter the language you speak or dialect. And just allow more. Show love always. You said something really important. Oh, grow your awareness, not your thinking. I'm quoting
Mm-hmm.
Angels and You. Okay,
Mm.
here we go. Here comes a big whoosh. What'd you get on that one?
Very similarly to your message of, chin up, look up is what I got.
Ooh.
And I had an experience. I was out, I was taking the garbage out or going to the mailbox or something. And it was one of those asymmetrical days where I was, at the desk working pretty much straight through. I had this opportunity kind of later in the afternoon, stepped outside, took a breath, looked up, and just paused and saw the trees and saw the sky and the contrast and just the interplay of the textures, the colors, and the shapes. And in that moment, there I was. And I walked to whatever I was doing, and I made the intention because I felt, even in that moment, when I was on the journey to where I was going, I was back head down. And I was looking at my feet, I was looking at the ground, I was looking at the cracks in the or at the seams in the sidewalk. And on my way back, I was like, what am I doing? And so I paused and I looked up and I glanced across the street, and there was somebody walking their dog,
Mm.
head down, glued to the screen. Yep. And one, the dog is just kind of like ambling, like, what are we doing here? I thought this is a collaborative, like I thought we are walking together type of, this is like kind of the vibe I was getting from the dog. And this person was just like head down. And I was just like, I looked over and I thought, that's one way to do it. And then I just looked up and I didn't look down until I made my way to where I was going. And then I even took about 5 minutes and I just laid in the grass and I just looked straight up. So yeah, take from whatever you're doing, pick your head up. And through a different angle, I usually share this with clients in the sense of one of the analogies or the metaphors we can use for life is like if we're in an open water swim, and this can be a large body of water like a lake or an ocean. And for those that have never done that, there are a lot of it's a very dynamic environment. There's currents, there's wind, there's all kinds of things that are contributing to the atmosphere in that environment. And so if our head is down in life and we're just paddling and paddling and paddling because the message we've got is you have to grind, you have to suffer, you have to sacrifice in order to succeed, then we're going to just be hard on ourselves and be crawling and grasping at the water for that next place we want to get to. But if our head is just down and we're just going, we might eventually pick our head up and realize we are completely off course. We haven't been taking assessment. We haven't been recognizing our environment, being aware of the current place we're at. So in life, whatever we're doing, whatever we're endeavoring for, pick your head up. Is there something that you can do or not do to make things easier, to make things more effortless? Is there a place that we've been struggling or really finding challenge with that when we pull back the lens, we might recognize, oh, it's a pull, not a push. Or, oh, this door I was trying to brute force hack, there's an open window just off the side to it. So I'm just going to go through there. So look up, pick your head up.
I like this. Okay, we're going to clear the decks. We're going to have you in a little bit give a mantra and repeat it 3 times. But if you
Mm.
don't mind letting the universe come in, and if you don't mind doing something to go full stop, be in your heart, you might catch the Om. You could hear angels singing. You can hear the unstruck bell to be funny out of India. I think that's S. Warren Eknath. Did I get it right? Great book. Okay. Do something to let go, but get something that signifies you're there. No such thing as silence. There's only stillness. And I'm done talking and delaying. Did you get your cleared the decks? Have Joy come in and just give you a kiss on the cheek or hear her laugh. That'll be enough to reset. I'm laughing.
You want more?
Oh my
Actually,
God, that's awesome. No, we're everyone's gonna need to hydrate after this one and go to bed 10 minutes early tonight. Okay, what's your mantra? And can you repeat it 3 times for us
hmm.
with all of you? I've never put it that way.
Find the love, be the love, share the love. Find the love, be the love, share the love. Find the love, be the love, share the love.
Kevin Russell, thank you very much for being on Angels, Positivity, and Love. True to Light, you're definitely doing the heroic journey and you're putting yourself out there for all of us. So thank you very much for being here and doing what you do.
Thank you, Michael, for the same, for holding the space, for calling it in, for coming through with lightness and joy and effervescence.
Well, I can't wait to have you back on again. And Kevin,
Looking forward
thank
to
you
it.
again. Really love it.
Michael, thanks so much. Have a beautiful day.
Thank you.